Yeah, e-cigarettes have definitely popped up a few years ago, man, and I definitely see a lot more people smoking e-cigarettes than regular cigarettes.
Yeah, especially at the clubs back then when we want to say back then, like last year when things were open, everyone was kind of vaping and hitting it at the bars and stuff.
Yeah,
It was like a little trend.
yeah, and like cigarettes put off that odor, so you can't really smoke it inside. So like a vape is a very easy and convenient alternative compared to trying to light a cigarette, in the club or at a bar. You can't really do that, but you hit a quick vape, nobody can really notice.
Yeah, and it first started off where it was accessible, you can smoke, and then they kind of banned it, and now the question is whether it's actually safe to use. A lot of people say it's safer than cigarettes, but the aerosols that are coming from the vapors, that's questionable what it's doing to the lungs and things like that. So we looked up a study here. It actually came out the 5th of January, so it's brand new. And the way they analyzed this is they used a method called transcriptomics, and they basically transcribed the RNA of the gut bacteria, and specifically also the gut cell wall. They took it on a petri dish, and they were trying to figure out what's exactly happening. So this process takes your RNA, transcribes it, and you're able to figure out the genome. Genome meaning when you have the study of epigenetics, it's actually trying to find out what the environment is producing, what kind of gene, because that protein, aka the gene, is going to dictate the information that your DNA receives and how it's going to react to the environment.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a legit process, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? So they took these mice and they studied chronic e-cigarette uses, right? Inhalation. So long-term, not acute. They took the colon, they did the transcripting method, and they basically assessed. And just keep in mind, this study revealed that it's the association between the e-cigarette like juices, not specifically nicotine. So what happened is they analyzed this, and it showed that it created inflammation and reduced the expression of the tight junction markers, TJ. So why is this TJ junction so important? So it's literally part of the cell wall. Just imagine having like the gut bacteria with having like cells side by side. And what happens is when this junction is inflamed, it actually creates space in between it. So normally it's a tight junction. You can't have anything cross through the barrier. Once it opens up, swells up, you have pathogens, you have bacteria that could kind of cross the barrier, could cause inflammation, infections, and it, what else does it do? There we go. Capillary leakage, it's actually associated with pulmonary edema and also gut bacteria translocation, meaning if you have gut bacteria that's hanging out in the gut, it's fine there, but once it goes through this membrane, it could actually cause a lot of issues in the body because that's not where the bacteria is supposed to be.
Right. Think of like an opportunistic infection, right? Your bacteria is going to grow wherever it can as long as it has the nutrition, right? Bacteria is not going to say, hey, this is lung tissue. We're not going to grow here, right? They don't care. They just go, and if they could grow, they could grow. And it's interesting to look back a few years ago. There was some kind of additive or some kind of ingredient in the vape juices that was causing people to have serious like lung damage.
Yeah.
Or causing to have like you said, capillary leakage again, but in the lungs compared to like the GI tract. A lot of pulmonary edema. People are literally dying from this, and a lot of people think that e-cigarettes are a lot safer because they don't have as much chemicals as regular cigarettes. But no matter what you're inhaling, you're going to cause some kind of inflammation in the lungs. And this is actually pretty crazy because this study is showing that not only is this inhaled like e-cigarette or vape not only causing inflammation in your lungs, but it's also extending all the way to your GI tract.